Alrighty, well, welcome back to another video. In this video, we're going to try to tackle some electrical stuff. As you can see here, we have a Renogy DC to DC charger with MPPT. So we're going to wire that up, trying to find some space. Here's a little sneak peek of what we did kind of behind the scenes off camera. So we hooked up the battery, kind of secured it down with some straps for now. And then we also have our switch panel that we mounted to the side here. And right now we just have the interior lights wired, and then as well as a left scene light. So that's going to be another video coming up here. A few years ago, I decided to put some scene lights on my roof rack and on my tent, on my bed rack that I had at the time too. And it's super nice when you're coming into camp late at night and you need to kind of see what the surrounding looks like. So you just hit those. And the cool thing about this switch panel is that it's you can hit it from here, from the buttons, or you can also hook up via Bluetooth with your phone, so I can control it from the cab. And I did it this way because when we're at camp, the vehicle's off, this switch panel is still wired off of this battery back here. So it's gonna have constant power as long as it's on. And so we can have the lights running for as long as we need to. So yeah, so we're gonna try to find some space for this box. This is a setup that I got from our buddy Andre, just like the battery. A lot of this electrical stuff I got from him. So shout out Andre for selling that to me. Now it's just gonna be mounted into the LonePeak. So along with this, then we also have to run our wires up to the front battery. And then also we have 330 watt solar panels. So that should give us almost 400 watts of charging for this big battery. So yeah, let's dive right in. We'll kind of do a few time lapses, and I'll kind of, this is not going to be like a how-to tutorial, but more so of like, this is kind of what I did, this is what mine looks like, and then that way you can kind of get some ideas and hopefully kind of come up with your own or do something similar to what I did. But so let's dive right in. So here's a good look at the Renogy DC to DC MPPT charge controller. So Andre already had all this labeled out, which is nice. But yeah, so there's a bunch of tutorials on YouTube of how to wire these and the process and what goes where. But the big thing is gonna be to make sure everything's fused, so that way those will pop first before you break something. So yeah, we have the controller here. It's got the Bluetooth adapter, a little temperature probe here for the battery. And then let me show you guys the battery setup up here, what we did last time off camera. So here's a little look of kind of how we're doing it. So I actually made it just a little bit too short, especially with the crossbars down here. So what I ended up having to do is putting the battery horizontal like this instead of vertical how I wanted. So space is a little bit more used up now, a little bit more limited, but we'll kind of work around it. So right now, so far, this battery is hooked up to the switch panel. So there is the positive. Positive is there. Goes into an 80 amp fuse. Not that we're ever going to need that much, but you just never know. here's where we're at so far. So that box isn't secured quite yet, but it's plugged into the battery. We have our solar connection and a 40 amp fuse up there. Cables run behind there. They're a little disorganized now, but once we get the correct length and everything, we'll secure them down. But that's pretty much it for now. Let's see, setup. So everything should hopefully fit in that lower cabinet there. This up front here is going to be 2 sliding doors. That way we can wire more things if we need to, or access for any sort of maintenance. So that's where we're at now. So essentially what we're going to do is we're going to take some of this 3M tape and we're going to put it all around the edges. That way it can stick on top. And then I also have some like silicone sealant that we'll put all around the edges once the solar panels are up on the roof. So that'll also hold them down in place, but also keep some water from sneaking underneath there. So I won't bore you too much with the video, so we'll just do a time lapse of a panel or two and then go straight into mounting. Here's a little update. So everything's kind of in place now there. I still have to secure that white box to the extrusion frame. So gotta figure out how to do that. I have some of these straps that I use for the battery, so I might just use that to hold it down. It's still pretty accessible. Right on top there, we got the fuse. Nice thing about this little panel there is you can run all the wires behind there, and you can kind of see up there where the wires go. Those just need to be zip tied. They come out through this little gap right between the bed of the truck and the LonePeak. So it comes out there. You can see it goes up. Follows the tent, and these have been super nice. These little, they're 3M square stickies. They stick on, and then they have little slots for zip ties. Comes the top here. And we have all our solar panels. There's a lot of wires, but this is the best I could do. So same thing. Got a bunch of these little 3M stickies, and then the zip tie just goes right through the little gap there. here's all the solar panels, all the wiring. So these are wired in parallel, so all the positives come to this little adapter. So all 3 positives from 3 solar panels come into here, turns it into 1, and this is kind of what goes down and around. Same thing with the negative. The negative terminals come into here, and just simply brings it down to 1. So it takes 3 and puts it into 1, falls down, and then now you just have 1 wire that, or 2 wires, 1 for positive, 1 for negative, that goes all the way down. So these actually came with a, for some reason, one of those foldable, portable solar panels that you open up. So for some reason mine came with those, and so I figured I'd put them to use, and that's the reason I got 3 of these solar panels. And EcoWorthy was having a pretty good deal not too long ago where these panels were, like I said, they're 130 watts, and they were, I believe they were like 60 bucks each. So nothing too crazy. And I tested it out earlier. It was pretty sunny, and in direct sunlight I was getting about 110 watts, which is pretty good out of 1 panel. So that's about it. At least for the solar panel, that's most of it. So here's another quick look. I routed it down on this side. It was a little bit of a cleaner look, and it still allows it to hinge just right in here. So be mindful of that. Can't cross over here because obviously this opens up. So be mindful of that. Once again, another quick look. Comes into here. Just coil the positive. I had quite a bit, so I coiled it up back there and into the fuse, and then it just goes into one of those slots into the charge controller. So that's about it for the solar panels. Now battery's charging. So cool thing is with that Renogy, it has a Bluetooth setting, so we can open that up and see everything going on. So right now it's pretty overcast now, and the solar panels are pointing straight up, so they're not even pointing directly at the sun. And so we're only getting, let's see if you can see this here, we're only getting 79, 80 watts right here, 20 volts. So it'll charge the battery up slowly, especially when we're sitting at a light or parked here all day. So that'll be nice to have that topped off all the time. And like I said, we can just keep an eye on it with the app. Yeah, so thanks for watching this episode. Hopefully, like I said, you learned a little bit and kind of saw what I did, and hopefully you get some ideas to build your own. So feel free to reach out with any questions. Like I said, most of this I've just been winging it, learning as I go, but it's a lot of fun. It's just an adult version of Legos, kind of, just building things and putting pieces together, especially with the extrusion. That was a lot of fun. A little tedious just because there's so many connections and corners, but it's a lot of fun. And you get to build it how you like, which I think is the better part. Worst case scenario down the road, if we don't like the setup, we can break the aluminum extrusion apart and come up with a different layout. So awesome. We'll see you guys on the next episode. We'll see what we end up doing. Bye.